Okay.
Clean it up.
Hello and welcome back to Remembering Tuscola. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Men of Joy, Bill
Yeah.
Englehart and Mike Carroll.
Man of joy.
Joyous
Yeah,
men,
man of joy.
man, a man of joy and a curmudgeon.
There
Uh,
you go.
There you go.
You're getting her. You're
Today,
getting
that's the way it's lined up, isn't it?
yeah,
It seems like I came
yeah,
in a pretty good mood.
yeah,
Becky got my root beer. I'm setting high cotton.
yeah. Tall cotton.
Yeah, boy.
Bill's in a good mood. Mike's not. I am in a worse mood than Mike, so this ought to be fun.
In fact, David and I are in a battle to the bottom.
Yeah, we will. We will clinch defeat from the claws of victory.
I worked hard to get to the bottom. And
Yes, you
that was
did.
what John Aston in Eva Roy Slade. Remember that movie? There was a Western called Eva Roy Slade. And John Aston is this bank robber. And while he's robbing a bank, there's a blonde woman there who he falls in. She says, Eva Roy Slade, he says, if you'd straighten up, I'd marry you. He goes, but I've worked hard to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
I was
It's
in
not
a
easy getting.
I was in a 5K race once, and I was in line to become second to last. I had to sit down in the middle of the road so I could be last. I don't want to be second to last. That's not a place of distinction.
You know,
If you're going to lose big.
I always love this story about Randy Bergerson used to run in these 5Ks, and he said in about 10 in a row he got beat. He got beat every time by an Amish woman running in a dress with a bonnet and boots.
Mhm.
And he said, my goal was to at least beat her. And he finally said he had this one race where he was ahead of her, and the finish line's about 50 yards ahead. And he goes, yeah, and she just blows by him like a freight train and beats him. I think he did his racing career never beating this Amish
Yeah,
gal.
there's like a 75-year-old woman behind me, and I'm like, hurry up, Grandma.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah,
I had to push her ahead of me.
yeah. Well, you won't see Bill in any 5Ks, although he's in a pretty
No,
good mood. He's
no.
probably Bill will give us a little bit of
Well,
joy.
I'm in a good mood. I want to tell you, David, a couple of things that are about you this week and
Well,
has to
about
do with the
me.
news. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
What a wonderful
don't throw me in there, by the way.
what a wonderful picture on the second page of the Chronicle of the first and second graders at Northward and their Christmas program. That's a wonderful
I felt
picture.
bad for the one kid standing in front of the teacher.
Well, that happens.
Did you
Right.
have a relative in that picture?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Grandson Cole was on the far left back row, and he had a speaking part in the play. We went to that play last Thursday, wasn't it?
Mhm.
And that was good. Great picture. Thank you for that. But the other thing is, I had a laugh out moment when I read your piece on the TV. That was that was really good. I did. I said to Andrea, I said, "You've got to read David this week." I said, "This is really
That
funny."
TV is so
Shout
ridiculous.
out loud. It was wonderful. Are
That,
we
that
seeing the
TV is
TV?
the TV is ridiculously large.
That's big. It's over the table.
It
Oh,
is.
goodness.
You
I
Good
said
for
had
you.
I had to
it didn't
turn
fit
the
anywhere.
I had to turn the feet the wrong way to get it to fit on the table.
Well, David, you should always do a thing called measure. Now, I measured,
Yeah.
and it doesn't do any good because they say a TV is a 60-inch TV. Well, I'm assuming that's 60 inches.
Is it
No, it's
this
It's
way?
diagonal.
diagonal.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, who in the world measures diagonally?
I've never known.
I up and down or sideways.
Yeah,
I bought a
absolutely.
refrigerator one time. Couldn't get it through the front door. I had
Yeah.
I had to take the door and the woodwork off. I had to dismantle the front door to get the refrigerator in.
Yeah.
No, I'm not finished yet.
He's on a roll.
I'm on a roll
He's butter.
today.
He's butter.
Yeah.
He's butter.
I want to thank Pete Buckley for his service to the country, and his piece on the FBI was excellent, and his summary at the end was really good too. Now, let's include everyone. So my pal here,
Yeah.
I have to include the article on the Strand, and
Because I'm sitting next to you.
well, it helps. And how good that piece was. It was historical from my perspective, but it was also sentimental, and we all remember that that night, and we certainly remember the good times at the Strand. And so compliments to Mike on just a wonderful piece. It was not so much laughing, because he included in there the wonderful piece of the article that Joe Caldwell had written in his book about Tuscola memories. That was really nice of you to include that.
Well, I sent it out to Joe and said, "Is that okay?" And
Yeah.
I had him review it.
Well, it was really a good
So
piece.
where were you at when it burned? Were you there?
I was standing on the Hotel Douglas steps with Jane Furco.
Ooh, great night for you,
Well, it was cold. I had to put my arm around her.
Jane.
Yeah, Jane.
Look out, there were cinders going by.
Jane and I saw that explosion of in the back of the theater. We just happened to be even with the alley when that thing kind of blew, and then we drove around a couple of blocks, and the firemen came, and it was just a disaster.
Was that a transformer that blew back?
Transformer blew in the back, and we actually saw it happen.
Amos Albritton shut off the gas, I think, and Dietrich was there. Yeah. It was full.
They got Dietrich out of church. I know all the firemen got out of it.
The downtown was full, absolutely
yes,
full of people.
And
I'm
that's
pretty
why
sure I was at home pooping my diaper.
Yeah, that's right.
So Bill, if you hit the Powerball, if you had the money, would you build it back if you had the money?
Well, the problem is I can't bring all the people back to it either. But the fact of the matter is, you really struck a chord with us older folks, and thank you once again for a wonderful piece in the paper.
Yeah,
that was great.
I was probably out of diapers by then, but just barely. I debated on whether.
So anyway, I was happy to bring that to your attention.
But there was something about that time. There was something not only about the Strand. I know I went overboard a little bit, but
you didn't.
Movies talk about that period of time. The Last Picture shows one of my favorite pictures. Remember that?
Well, Sybil Shepherd, how can I forget it?
But seriously, Dwayne and him going to the she's the old lady, Mrs. Froman kind of woman, and closed her down tonight. Nobody's here anymore.
Yeah.
Death of a Small Town.
Death of a Small Town.
A lot of small towns had them. Mark Petty talks about Oakland. They used to show the movie on the side of a building.
Well, in Hinesboro, they used to show it on the side of a building.
Yeah, and Arcola, I think, occasionally did it.
And we had the Strand, and Bill Grove had the gym.
Still does it.
Yeah. So it was sentimental in that respect. And what Joe Caldwell added from his book about the Strand was just so special. The whole book was special. But I'm glad you included him in that piece, because it was great.
Well, I can't describe it any better than he did. So I said, Joe, he said that was fine.
Very good.
But
I debated on whether to use the colorized version of the photo.
I saw that.
But being on the front page, I like to use color on the front. But I thought it kind of made it come alive a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
now who was in the picture again?
Those were the 4 class officers, 1955. And I'm going to get the name wrong, but the president of the class was Von Lincoln. He died. Myron, or I'm not sure what his first name was.
That was Lonnie's oldest brother.
Lonnie's oldest brother died. And the vice president was a guy named Valentine. And the third one was Carroll Knox.
Oh, Chuck Knox's wife.
Carroll Knox. And then the fourth one was Ann Olson. Remember?
Olson Farms.
Earl Olson that lived down there on Court Street, Center Street.
Okay. I think he farmed.
Those are the 4 officers of the class.
Huh. Well, it was a good piece. So I just want to say, hey, both of you hit the trifecta this week. It was good.
You got anything you want to say good about Becky?
Now, I always say
There
good
it
things
is.
about Becky. There it is in color.
I could go get that. Go ahead and David, just give me 1 minute. I'll get
David, you know, that picture, 3 doors on the right, that's where you went in, 3 doors on the left. Actually, you came out that way. And oh, look at that. Grace Kelly's going to be in a show Sunday and Monday. The history of the theater I thought was good that Mike told us about. You know, George Barber, who owned the drive-in theater as well, his wife was Florine Barber, who was a longtime teacher in the Tuscola system. Wonderful teacher, 7th grade.
And our boy Denny was a great athlete on the 51 team with Dick Helm. And those guys.
And he was a heck of a golfer.
Here, just a second. There's Ann Olson. Let me see Von Lincoln. That was there's Richard Valentine, and there's Urban. Go back to that picture a minute, David. Pull it up again. I thought you did a good job. That's Urban Von Lincoln, Lonnie's oldest brother. Richard Valentine, who was the homecoming king that year. Carol Lossman. There it is right there.
Oh, yeah, big picture in the yearbook.
It was in the yearbook right here.
Hang on.
Where I got it from. I think it was great. You colorized it.
Here, show it again.
Okay.
Oh, full page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even bleeds off the page.
Yeah. But Richard Valentine and let's see what it says here real quick. That was Doc Lossman's daughter. Caryl. I call her Carol. See right there.
Yeah.
Rick Marsh is in that class.
Tommy Meyer.
Henry Ron, Tommy Meyer. And the homecoming queen that year was who? Richard Valentine was homecoming king. Homecoming queen.
Oh, I know. It's Sandy Decker.
Sandy DeBolt.
Sandy DeBolt.
Sandy
Yeah.
Decker. Great class. 55 is a great class.
Was that my mom's class? I don't
I
remember.
think it is. What was her maiden name?
Dallas. There she is. Ask my mom.
How about that?
Sarah Dallas.
Let's see it. Oh, yeah, right there.
Did she go to, was it Atwood she went to?
I think so.
1, 2, 3 is either Arthur or Atwood, first 3 years.
Atwood Township High School at that time.
Was that
There's Chubb Connor.
Chubb Connor.
Yeah.
That was a great class.
I think Larry Little's in that class.
Yeah, I think he is. That
Right there.
There he is, yeah. That 1953-54, there's Tommy Meyer, Rick Marsh still, Henry Ron. There's Ann Olson.
Mhm.
Rita Stackhouse, remember her?
Yes, I do. Perry Stackhouse's daughter.
Roger Roderick, Dale Rutan, Dan. Let's see. There's Bob Travis's sister.
Phyllis Williams.
Phyllis
Yeah.
Travis was in that class. Valentine, there's Ray Weatherford. Wayne Vest, remember Wayne Vest? Jimmy Weber. And there's Irvin, president his senior year. That was really a good class. But
That's a part when we get going on that sort of thing.
we like that.
We like that, and that is truly remembering Tuscola, the
Yeah.
way we remember it.
Yep.
Oh, well, special slice. We're really good at we were like the 50s when we were little kids, and then the 60s when we were actually the teenagers. Getting to be adults, not so much.
Pictures, David, do you have some for us?
Ready to
Ready-
challenge
ready for pictures.
Yeah.
Mr. Univac.
I just want to say once again, thanks both of you for the pieces in the paper. They were great. Oh, that's Glenn Smith.
Mhm. Ran for mayor in 1976.
He was
Chris Hill beat him, I think.
he was manager of CIPS.
CIPS, good guy, very civic minded.
Mhm.
Daughter,
Connie.
Married Dale McElwee. Who did he?
Dale McElroy from
Dale McElroy,
Marcola.
Marcola.
Smitty used to dress up as Santa Claus.
Very civic minded.
Mhm.
Well, there's Allison Hancock, second from the back row right. And there's Kim McCarty
Sitting on the far right. And that's Murray.
That's a Murray girl. Which
Is that
one?
Chris?
Probably the high honor roll.
I think it was Allison that taught me how to play piano.
Very talented gal. And we should know her. Is that
Yeah, but I can't.
Not Hans, is it?
I can't get them. And the boy in the middle, I'm lost.
I've got names when you're ready.
Go ahead.
According to Mary Hilgendorf, Donna Bissey, David Smalley, Scott Wade, Allison Hancock, Linda Heath.
Linda Heath. I said Hans. It's Heath. Yeah. Linda Heath's the gal they put in the Hall of Fame. She's a scientist out in Washington, I think.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
In the front, you got Mary Hilgendorf, Kathy Higgins, Teresa Murray, and Kim McCartney.
Teresa Murray.
Teresa. Okay.
And Kim. Yeah. They were smart. Another top 10 class.
Well, it looks like an Eaton on the far left.
Yeah, Chris. Is that Diane Davis? Davis, the middle, setting down?
I just don't know.
Yep.
I think it's Diane Davis. And I think up above, is that Lowell Lamb, second from left?
Yep.
Lowell Lamb.
Who do we have? Go ahead and name them.
In the back, you got Lyndall Dallas, Lowell Lamb, John Gallagher, Barb Volk, Kim Jones. In the front is Marsha Watts, Diane Davis, and Linda Bateman.
You know, I was going to say Kim Higgins. It didn't look like Kim Higgins, Kim Jones back here.
Mm-hmm. She does.
Kim Higgins, really great gal. Her dad was quite a guy.
What year was this? See, this is one where we kind of lost out. We were either going to school, working hard. That'd be mid 70s, late 70s?
Mid 70s. The envelope was not dated.
Yeah.
I was probably at war in Springfield, Mass.
You might have been.
In the Army.
Oh, I thought you were back. Caleb.
I got back in 73. There's
we were
Dixon.
Married. Caleb came along.
There's what's his name? Oh, he sold insurance. You know, she married Bozarth.
Married Bozarth.
Yeah, the gal. What was her maiden name that married Dave Bozarth?
Oh, Mulligan.
There's a Mulligan.
It's Terry.
Terry.
Don Williams.
And then there's
Dixon.
Craig Dixon. Should know that one.
Almost. This is
far right is
Groves.
Groves, yeah.
Yeah. Patty. Well, I say Pat, not Patty.
Not Patty.
No, it's not Patty. I'm thinking the other Groves. This is
Hornaday.
She married Hornaday. Terry Hornaday.
Yeah.
Bottom left. Is it Rogers?
I don't know.
Bottom left, you'll know it.
Give us her initials.
You can
give me her initials.
You'll see it as soon as I tell you.
Just give us the initials.
DD.
Oh, that's Dietrich. Donna Dietrich.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Did we get the back right? Was that Terry Mulligan?
Did you get Carla right?
Well,
so you got Terry Mulligan, Don Williams, Craig Dixon, Carla Wright, and Terry Hornaday.
We missed one on the back.
Front row, you got Donna Dietrich, LaShawn Scuda, Liz Meyer, Ruth Hilgendorf, class of 76.
Yeah, we were busy.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
saw
was running.
Dixon.
I was running for state's attorney.
And that's
And-
according to Christy Townsend.
Oh, Chris, no, Chris didn't know. That's around Chris's senior year, wasn't it? When was Chris
Chris.
Townsend,
Oh,
her husband,
I
played
forget.
basketball for Burris?
Yeah, he did. Oh, that's a Hans. Second one in
Second
the left.
left looks like the
That's Hans.
third one we should know.
Don't. That's a Murray.
Fourth one's at Murray.
Oh God, that girl on the end I know too.
Yeah, you know some of these. I've got the names when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Karen Hayford, Kirk Little,
Yeah.
Roger Gallion. This is the front row.
Yeah.
Cindy Burnson,
Oh, Cindy's married to Greg.
no, her sister's married to
Oh, this is Cindy. Okay.
Kathy Ring Manier. Then you've got Betsy Belts, Chris Hance, Richard Gallagher, Kathy Murray, Patty Pancall, and Debbie Phillips.
You know, like Kathy Murray supposedly was in Hawaii. She had a real good job. But anyway, she's on the walking along the beach. Who comes running by? And I thought they talked, or it was Tom Selleck.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, is there a bad job in Hawaii?
I don't know.
You could wash the golf balls. It'd be a good job.
I
wouldn't
guess,
it?
yeah, absolutely. Chris Hance, that's interesting.
So that's Jim Gallagher's son then. Is that the artist?
Rogers.
Yeah, I have to look at my bookshelf over there. One of them,
The Belts girl is a sister to
Rice, was an artist.
Pardon? Which one's the artist?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to look on my bookshelf because one writes and one is an artist, and I couldn't tell off the top of my head which is which.
Roger.
Well, that was a lowly attended football game. We must have, not many people came. I'm just guessing that's you got a mustache. The mustache, the beard.
Scarado.
No, I don't know. I thought a Dietrich. I thought that was a Dietrich.
Well, that's at first I looked at it and I went Dietrich, but I don't know. Dave.
According to Ron Rome, is Doug Dietrich in the middle. And Danny Matthews thinks maybe Fred Gailey in the picture.
On the left. Yeah, Fred played 73. Most valuable player, halfback. I don't know who the guy on the right is.
Yeah, those are the only names I had.
Is that a Bateman?
No.
Dukeman?
It's Phil Weaver.
Offs when I need him.
It's Phil Weaver.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay. There's Lewis in the middle. Isn't that Lewis? Isn't that
Phil Lewis.
Phil Lewis in the middle?
Right here?
Yeah, tall guy. That looks like Lance Little, is it?
No, I think that's another school.
Oh, this is
Lance is much younger than these guys.
Who's the guy next to Little?
With a cast on his hand.
Well, let me see. Second from right, Connie Jackson thinks it's Roland Cooper. And some people have identified Monticello guy as Brad Kinzer, number 12.
When Cooper run the quarter mile, wasn't he? 400.
I didn't know it.
Is that Phil Lewis in the middle?
Yes. And Scott Brewer says he thinks this is from the Unity Invitational.
Yeah. Phil's dad, John, when I was a little kid, I watched John play football for Bucko. Well, he was a horse. And later in life, I played EI League baseball, and John was a center fielder, great baseball player. I played with Murray and Phil. Skinner and I both played with Gene Murray. There he is, Mr. Tuscola. Bill McCartney.
Bill McCartney at the drive up.
And I personally guarantee you didn't plant those. That was a photo op.
Yeah.
You never know with Bill.
Now you don't know. Bill could have planted them.
A nicer guy is never known.
Mr. Tuscola.
A lot of comments on this picture. Seems like everybody has the same opinion of Bill McCarty that I do.
Well, he was a great representative for the town. He just always projected a nice guy. I was with him when he got mad. He could crank it on. I remember one time he paid for a Tuscola basketball game down at Mattoon Regional, and they kept interrupting the ads or not running the ads. A guy named, who's the guy that used to be that, Livesey? Who was the guy that used to run the radio thing?
Livesey.
Bill was cussing the blue streak about him because of didn't get his ads.
He'd get mad sometimes at sports.
Oh, he could go. He could go.
Really?
I think Bill is up in Bloomington now.
Yes.
And, in his 90s, and it's been a while since I talked to him, but last time I talked to him, I tell you, it was the same old Bill.
Oh yeah, he can. He came up to me at a football game a few years ago and started talking about when he played in '49 and how his dad would come to practice and how what's his name, the janitor?
Jack Donalds.
Jack Donalds was playing against him, and Jack was just tougher than nails, and Jack kept diving over, and Bill said his dad was yelling, block him, and he said, the hell, he's diving my ankle, you block him. So he's telling me his old stories from '49, and then he says, it was great talking to you, and walks off. I never said a word. I never got a word in. Yeah, what's going to be horrible is missing some of these stories. I mean, there ought to be a oral history. They ought to interview.
Yeah.
They did interview Bill a little bit.
They did some, I think.
But there's some stories from those eras that are just wonderful.
Loved it. He loved Tuscola.
Yes, he did, in his bones.
He loved the Oka.
Well, his dad was the same way. His dad was very public spirited.
Didn't go to many track meets back then. 76. Caleb was a year old. Actually, a few months.
Well, you probably know these people.
Probably.
Far right is Kenny Hogue.
I was going to say Kenny Hogue, but he didn't look tall enough.
Well, he's on a stand.
I was going to say Kenny, but I thought Kenny was about 6'3", 6'4".
That must have been about his sophomore year or something. That doesn't look like him as a senior.
No,
I think he's grown since then. And far left, Scott Bechtel.
Scott Bechtel.
And standing by Kenny is Monticello's Greg Kinzer.
Maybe they're on a podium or something.
Yeah, I think they're on a stand of some sort.
Well, that looks like Hausman in the middle.
That is. That's Hausman in the middle.
And on the left's a Huber, it looks
That's
like.
Huber, right?
That's the opera singer from Germany, I think.
Andrea.
And on the right is
She looks familiar.
got initials for one on the right.
Yeah, I got her. I think we know who it is, don't we, Dave?
Well, who?
Yeah.
You can blurt it out. There's no penalty.
Well, I started to say Marcy.
No,
No,
Nope.
she was 74.
Oh, yeah.
Give us initials.
she's the teacher.
Teacher now?
Back in
No.
back in 76.
Miss DeWerf.
Oh, sure.
I never had a teacher look
Sure.
like that.
We had a date her when she looked like that.
Yeah, she looks like one of the students, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's not normal. This is the exchange students.
Mhm.
So we got Kalmar second from right, Huber,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to think of Andrea Huber. I don't know who the long-haired guy is with glasses.
That's Dave Smalling.
Okay.
Monocle fame.
I was going to say, wasn't Dave one of Otha's kids?
I thought so, but
Who's the gal on the right?
Susan Bechtel Hall.
Okay.
oh, that's Susan. Wow, nice hairdo. Were they doing a play of some sort?
Well,
No.
kind of a 50s sock cop, maybe type. I don't know.
What'd they call that dance?
Here, look at this. Look at this, Bill.
They had a special name for a dance in the spring.
Look at the
Sadie
look at
Hawkins.
see her clothes there, Dave? Look at the clothes here.
Was that Sadie Hawkins?
Sadie Hawkins.
Yes.
That's right, Beck.
See the white socks
Yeah.
rolled up? Yeah, they look just like the 50s.
Sadie Hawkins dance. That was
Well,
popular.
Sadie Hawkins was more of a little Abner. No, that was where the one on the right looks like Sadie Hawkins, but no, that's
See,
50s.
it's in the springtime. Look at the umbrellas and they got
Yeah, but
flowers.
this is the 50s look. We had Sadie Hawkins, you dressed up like little Abner and
Well, that's,
Daisy May,
The girl asked the
well,
boy.
Susan Hall has her
She was-
hair like,
but she has 50s. Look at all the white socks. And
well,
the,
they have on the white shoes,
You
don't they?
asked the girls asked the boys.
yes, but look, honey,
Sadie
that's not
Hawkins?
Sadie Hawkins. That's the 50s. That's Grease.
Yeah.
The girls asked the boys to Sadie Hawkins. You never got to go.
I never got to go. Never got to go. I did every one of them too.
Mm-mm.
Got some initials.
Mimeograph machine.
DC.
D.
Mm-hmm.
C.
She looks familiar.
Well, now it's DL.
Coon?
Donna Coon Lake.
I was going to say, I said Coon.
Or two of those girls or three of them. One of them married Fritz Cross.
It's in the high school office.
Back in the old
Mhm.
mammograph machines.
There's the vault.
What'd they hide in there? Your grades?
Mm-hmm. For 50 years.
And Joyce Allison sitting there at the desk on the right.
Mm-hmm.
First Christian Church. On the left looks like, is that Grubb? She's a Methodist.
Nope. This is First Christian Church.
First Christian is there, Mrs. Allison. Lived to be 100? She made it to
Yeah,
100?
she made it to 100. Went to her 100th birthday party.
There goes Randy.
So the girl in the front was my freshman homecoming date. That's Barb Cavanell. And the far left is David Cavanell. And seated next to Mrs. Allison is Pat Cavanell. And their dad was,
Pastor there.
yeah, Pat's husband. And I think one of these little boys, I think the smaller one is Mark Cavanell.
Basically, it's the Cavanells.
Might be.
Yeah, mostly Cavanells.
Dave Cavanaugh, the year I had cross country. He ran cross country.
Well, Dave, if this is 76 and she was your freshman date, that would have been 80, 79, 80.
79.
Okay.
Danny Matthews says Teresa Geiler in the plaid shorts.
Yeah, in the face looks like it. Teresa worked in our law office for a couple of years as a paralegal. Took a job with the federal government down in Memphis, I think.
So there's a good chance I was in the building when this picture was taken.
Well, that's the one on North Line Road, First Christian Church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ages 3 through 8th grade. And this was for Vacation Bible School. I never missed VBS. But Dave, the way he's standing looks like his dad.
He was a pretty tall boy by the time
Yeah,
he was.
well, Alex was tall.
Huber?
No, I don't think that's Huber.
I do.
I think
Well,
it
could be Bill. Yeah, it looks like Bill. The closer you get, it looks like Bill.
got the microphone. He's conducting an auction.
Yep.
Let's see if we can tell anybody from the back here.
Pretty hard to do.
Rick Marsh.
Possibly.
You recognize the one in the striped shirt.
Yeah. Chris Hill.
And there's Bill again over here, top left.
Is that Chris?
Yeah.
I thought so. You know what? That might be Marsh.
I guess Ricky Marsh. He goes to all those auctions.
Kind of, the kid looks familiar, but I'm not sure who it is. Be close to my age.
Who's Kevin Connor's class?
Oh, can't tell you.
I was gonna say
Well,
Kevin.
he was with Waters. And,
Oh, he's earlier.
yeah, he's earlier.
This is the one we used to sit outside when the weather was good. Let's see what house that is. Back that up a little bit.
That lady sitting on the couch looks like Marge Long,
Margie.
Jenny's mother.
This Ralph Allen's house with his work shed out here. I don't think so, but
Possible.
I don't know.
or is that Orville Fry's? Hey, wait, is that where Orville Fry? That's where George Edwards lived. That's the side door facing east on the George Edwards house that Orville Fry moved in.
I think you're right.
That's their garage out there north.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this was 76. George Edwards was selling his house. I think Orville bought it about then.
Oh,
Chris Little on the
Chris
right.
Little. Sages. That'd be one of Trimble boys.
Well, not in 76, I don't think.
Yeah, could be.
I thought he was in the 80s. when he
Marcy
was-
Shoemaker says Terry Harbaugh on the left.
I see a Sage. Of course, he had so many guys that won.
The Sages, right of Phil Norfleet is Tom Striegel.
That's Phil Norfleet, 58. This must have been the shot put or
Yep.
discus.
Well, Kevin Connor says Paul Norfleet. second from left.
Right. It's Paul.
So, yeah,
There were two boys, weren't there? Ed had two boys, I think.
Mhm.
I'm saying this is shot or discus. I'm guessing discus. I'm guessing this is a mile run, distance
They
runner.
look like distance runners.
They're thin. You don't see many shot putters running the mile.
No.
Well, I don't know who won for Tuscola.
Scott Brewer says these were 2 milers. Steve
Two
Doug
milers. Yeah.
Monticello far left, then question mark Phil Weaver, question mark Greg Weaver, and says the other two are familiar but can't remember their names. And
He must have run long distance.
Yeah.
Bob Trimble says Randy Riggins from Monticello, second from left.
Trimble watches this, huh? Bob was our assistant basketball coach for Bill and I for a couple of years. He student taught in Tuscola
Uh-huh.
when Arnold first came. And then he actually stayed and taught for a year or two, didn't he? Before he went to Monticello.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's one we let get away.
That's one we let it get away.
We should have kept Bob Trimble. Top-notch guy. Lives outside of Hinesboro on the farm. Looks like Fritz. Well, it can't be in 76. Could that be Fritz Cross? I mean, Gordy Cross and Chris Townsend?
Yep.
Kind of looks like them. Now, them I kind of recognize. That's who that is, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris Thompson says Oklahoma Valley Conference meet. He says he and Gordy placed in the long jump, and future coach Jeff Butler was first.
I'll be
From
darned.
Arcola.
Yeah. Oh, that's Weaver in the. I think he's won the race.
Well, he got a little lead.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Weaver. Is that Greg's brother?
I thought maybe. I don't know. Can't. Greg Weaver had his memorial. They still have the memorial. Greg Weaver.
Is this at Unity? Is this at Unity?
I don't know.
Looks like there's nothing out there. It looks like
Pretty barren, isn't it?
Tolono. Oh, now this is probably the shot put.
That's
We've had the
Rich.
discus.
That's Kirk Rich,
Mhm.
isn't it?
A top, yeah.
Yeah.
This was probably the shot put. There's Little,
So that's
Paul
Paul
Norfleet.
Norfleet. Huh.
and there's Kirk Rich, who died about a year or so ago, didn't he? Passed away.
Well, yeah, he passed away.
Okay, you get this one.
Well, it's at East Prairie. I can tell that much.
Yeah.
Boy,
Mm.
before my time.
Go ahead, Dave. You know anybody?
Well, Kelly Schultz says she was wondering if that was Mrs. Nunn in the back.
Hazel?
Kind of looked like Kay
It
Klein.
does look like
That
Hazel Nunn.
Could be Nunn.
It is Hazel Nunn. So this would be like 7th grade English. That kid there looks like a gang loaf. That looks like a Von Lincoln.
This is probably your year, David.
No,
This is this is 7th grade in 86.
86. 76, you mean?
76. Yeah, 76, 7th grade, add 6 years, you're 83.
76, I was in grade 6.
Oh, one off.
So these might be, Andrea Harsh just says this one over here posing looks like Gary Wallace. Could be Gary.
Is that Rick Reinhardt down here?
Michelle Joe Whitmore is in the picture. I think is that the tall one in the back? Let me see if
Thought
I
I
got.
saw Rick. Thought I saw Rick Reinhardt. I don't know when his senior year was.
So this, yeah, these might be a couple years older than me.
Oh, the old East Prairie.
Couple people think
Desperate
this.
Dude.
Couple people think Tim Hausman second from right front row.
Anybody see Rick Reinhardt in it?
Nope.
Well, we got
We got
Mrs. Nunn.
we got 7 of them.
Got a few names.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's John Hirschfield, and Republican over the left is Frida Morris, our
Morris.
clerk.
Mm.
John Hirschfield, our congressman, and then Great House,
Colleen or whatever.
Chloe
Oh, Ann.
Great House from Hinesboro. Johnny Hirschfield.
W.A. Bozarth.
You know, go back to that John Hirschfield story. I'll tell a Monk Engelhardt story.
Oh, you've told that.
Oh, okay. Don't tell it again. Okay.
Passed you up in his car. I remember that one. That's Mrs. Bozarth and W.A., and I suppose he's retiring.
He did. I think probably retirement. This is a East Prairie in the cafeteria.
Who's that sitting at the table?
Looks like Webb Hole, but I don't know.
But you can't mistake WA.
That's not W.A. there.
No,
WA here.
I'm guessing that's Kenny Hogue.
Chris Townsend said she thinks it's Kenny Hogue as well.
It's not the Fosbury flop. This is the roll, the old time roll. You high jumped.
Yeah. Eastern
How high did you go?
5'11".
That was good. Really, for a big guy, get off the ground.
Well, he's ready to spear whoever comes in. I don't know if that's a sword or a cane. I think it's a sword.
Looks like a handle of a sword, doesn't it?
Oh, I think it's a sword. Put on the bottom.
I don't think he's very happy.
Well, no, he's going to stab somebody. That's a sword.
Don't recognize him.
Tina Turner says, my great uncle, Ralph Bassett.
Ralph Bassett.
Fought in the Spanish-American War.
What was Nancy Bassett?
Don't know. Can you blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, I don't have a name on this one. A lot of people out to watch the meet.
Well, look at, he's about out of his lane. I don't know what lane he's supposed to be in. If his left foot's coming down on the line, his right foot's going to be in the other. Left foot's in lane 1, right foot's going to be in lane 2.
Yeah, if it's distance.
It's a relay. Do you have to stay in your lane in a relay?
Yeah, he's got his relay.
Yeah, well, some of them you do. It depends on the layout. That looks like the 440 relay because there's guys right behind him.
Well, maybe he just accepted the baton and is going to roll into that first lane. Because is that the guy back there passed him the baton?
Well, sometimes you stay in your lane the whole way, but
Yeah.
I think the 440 or now 400, they stay in the lane the whole way.
WA again. Like Arcola schools, with a little
Tribute.
wishing.
I have to ask Dave about that,
What are you going to ask him?
if he still has it. A banner or whatnot from the Arcola district.
The woman is Mrs. Brown, the music teacher in Arcola.
Now, that's Mrs. Brown. And my first year teaching at Arcola, Brownie went on vacation with her father, and they were going down into Mexico.
Got killed.
And she was murdered. They were murdered by bandits.
I got a story here you haven't heard. Muzzleton. It wound up in the Newsweek magazine. And I was state's attorney. And John Calhoun was the Arcola police officer. And he told me about this guy in Arcola that told all these stories about the CIA, how he worked for the CIA, did dirt work for him, dirty work, kill work. So they were murdered in Mexico.
Mhm.
And he died about a week later unexpectedly. They searched his home and they found all kinds of plastic det cord and explosives at his house that you can't get as a civilian. And I remember Mark Petty had his estate. We didn't know what to do, so we wound up getting a federal order to go blow it all up. But it's a real strange story about him saying he worked for the CIA, and then they were murdered in Mazatlan. It wound up being in Newsweek magazine.
I'll be darned. Laura Brown.
It just happened again about a month ago. A couple was killed down in Mexico traveling. Bandits.
Yeah, we came back from Christmas break, and she was a music teacher, had a great sense of humor,
Mhm.
loved kids. That was 1975, 6, something like that.
Yeah, I've been state attorney about a year when it happened. I think.
Yeah.
John Calhoun was convinced it was all CIA. Well, there's Bozarth clan.
Mhm.
See if we can pick out some of the Bozarth kids there. And his back's his brother, and that is, was it Carl? Lived out there across from your old
Mhm.
principal,
Yeah, out across from Sergeant.
Bozarth. Let's see if Nita's in there somewhere.
This looks like Suzanne Henderson, doesn't it? In a way, I mean, well, it does when she was teaching back then. That's Dave in the
In the
back,
back with the long hair and the
and
mustache.
Cheryl in front of him.
Right. That's not Nita because she married Rex Bridges.
Rex Bridges.
That's not her.
Not Rex. That's not her.
Well, maybe some of Dave and Cheryl's kids are here on the front.
No,
One of the boys.
no, they're
Okay.
much younger. Great school, man. WA.
That's it for this week.
Well, Bill and I were busy laying the foundation for our future in 76.
Trying to. Is all pro there yet?
Got any
Just
heat,
looked at
Dave?
the time. I haven't heard from them.
1:20.
On my phone. Getting close.
Well, to everybody listening today, we all want to say happy birthday to Dave. He turned 75 today.
75, that's right.
Oh, wait, that's you and I.
That's, yeah, well, we're even beyond that.
We're beyond that. Yeah, we're a foot in the grave. David's 60 years old today. And I think for his birthday, he's going to try a new meal,
Yeah,
beef Manhattan
beef Manhattan. Same
at the
place
Moose.
meals I have every Thursday.
And your good buddies home from DC area,
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm the same age as my brother Greg right now.
So all the porters are getting up there.
Well, 5 of us are now in our 60s.
How's it feel?
Not good. But I've got good genes. You know, my dad's the third of 5, and all of his siblings are still alive.
Well, Bill and I don't have anybody alive.
No,
You're setting the record for your family, aren't you?
yeah, I think so.
How old is your
Unless
mom?
if my one cousin up by Elgin, if he's still alive, he's a few months older than me.
Yeah.
That would be, but other than that, no, not even close.
Three of my uncles died, and my dad, they're all 77, 78.
How old are you?
77,
Oh, yeah,
78.
well, that's,
Yeah, be nice to me.
yeah, I am.
My dad will be 89 in February. And he's got 2
Well,
older sisters.
some people just have it. They say in medicine, genes are the most important thing in medicine.
Well, Dave, once again,
Happy birthday, David.
yeah, once again, thank you for the picture and the article.
Yeah, you had a good paper.
It was
You run
funny.
You run a good paper, David.
And happy birthday, 60. Seems like a long time ago. I remember Mike's 40th.
Well, I just remember last year, it seemed like Dave turned 59.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turned 40. We were in Indianapolis playing golf.
And do you remember what I shot it was at a Pete Dye course in the northwest corner of Indianapolis.
What'd you shoot?
40.
Did you really?
Each 9, yeah.
And didn't I make a putt or some deal there at the end to win the?
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you ruined my birthday. I'm sure you took the pot.
And remember where we had to go in a hurry?
You greedy only child SOB.
Yeah, we were
I'm
going
going to talk to Andre about this.
yeah, we were going to the Heidelberg,
Heidelberg.
and we couldn't be late.
I'm
Couldn't be like-
officially old now, and so all 3 of us, we're all senior citizens now.
Yeah. You know, I've never accepted the ARP invitation. I just refuse to admit I'm a senior. Isn't that crazy? How do we
Oh, they've
take
got a nice little magazine.
I bet they do. It's anything free, anything 5% discount.
Yeah, you get some discounts. I'm going to start using the discounts.
Yeah, you'd be wise to take advantage of it. They don't give you much.
So
Bill was always frugal. He's a teacher. Most teachers are frugal. And he had 3 kids to raise. And Andrea was probably perfect spouse. I used to say Andrea made the kids' clothes out of grass clippings.
Did you say perfect?
Did I say perfect? I used to say that she made your clothes out of grass clippings
Yeah,
and
I
mud.
remember that.
God, she could do anything.
Yeah, she did.
You still got your first dollar, probably.
I was going to spend it this afternoon and buy you something, but
Well, not my birthday.
maybe not now.
Bye, Dave. Let's get together and go. Let's go at the Moose and prepay his beef Manhattan.
We could do that.
I got to go wait on the furnace
All pro.
to show up. All pro.
Well,
Well,
if you need any money, Englehardt could loan you some at low
hey,
end.
they may be able to get that thing
Well, they will.
operational.
They
They'll
will.
get it working.
It's time and a half on Thursdays, but they can do it.
So we thank our sponsors, Trust Bank and Elite Builders.
David, now get in a good mood.
Oh, this is my happy face.
This is a wonderful day. This is the first day of your new life.
It'll be wonderful until Jenny gets cold tonight.
Yeah, well, I get her the covers.
I think she's just a little too giggly that she's still in her 50s and I'm not.
Well, she'll get there. You'll have your comeuppance.
Soon. couple
Soon.
months.
Well, have a good birthday, David. We mean it.
Yeah.
All right,
Enjoy.
we'll see you next week on
Meal.
Remembering Tuscola.